Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cole Realty Group Closing the Gap. I am your girl, Nicole, training and coach for TCRG Atlanta. Make sure that you're following me on your Insta or your Real Estate Style Pro. Naisha won't be joining us today, but guys, make sure that you follow her at the Right Realtor ATLFL. Guys, we got some amazing guests joining us today. I am super excited. Dani Stevenson with the MVP Group. Make sure you're following her at Dani Sales ATL. And we also have Clarissa CC Gilmore. Make sure you're following her at Gilmore Girl CC on Instagram also. Hope you guys are ready. We have an amazing treat in store today. Thank our guests for joining. Lataja Grief. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Sierra Seibert, Raven Shirley, and Ajana DeCarmo. Welcome and thank you for joining. And please make sure that you are following us on and subscribe to our YouTube channel, TCRG Closing the Gap. So now, guys, I just want to spend a couple of minutes highlighting our stats. So we're going to go over what we've done so far for the month of October and from the 13th through the 19th. Well, 27 under contracts, not bad. $7,760,522. Nakisha is leading the pack, the Jamaican rock star, with 6 under contract. We've got Brandy at 3, Chanel at 2, Deidre 2, Naisha 2, Kiana 3. I've got 4. Let's give a whopping round of applause for Maddie. She is a new agent to the Cole Realty Group with her first deal under contract. Charisma's got 1. Danica has 1. Kanesia and Sharice both have 1 as well. So congratulations to everyone. Closings for the week of October the 13th through the 19th, guys. We got 7 closed at $1,803,800. Tamia closed a $543,800 Zillow deal, I might add. Nakisha closed $315,000. And guys, Sharice is a new agent, not only to the Cole Realty Group, but she is a new agent as well. So she closed her first deal at $158,500. Naisha closed 1 at $340,000. Brandy at $212.5. And Bree is also a new agent to the Cole Realty Group. She closed her first deal at $74,000. Congratulations, everyone. All right, round of applause. Them hunters done crossed double digits. $10,173,940,000. I'm talking about the 100 across the double digits. Man, I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations. That is phenomenal. And we got the pros at $17,020,846. But of course, you know the show don't stop there. We got to keep going. We got $22,805,000 to go to get to our target. But I know amongst this amazing group of real estate agents, we can do it. So I'm excited to see what we do for the rest of the year. So everybody give yourself a round of applause because we are doing an amazing job. Okay, guys. So I told you we had 2 rock stars joining us today, right? Man, this show, talking about treating your business like a business, investing in your education is so important because, you know, you're not going to make any money if you don't spend it. And there's so many different ways that you can talk about investing in yourself. So today we've got Dani Stevenson joining us. She's been a real estate professional for 5 years. No, I'm sorry, 3 years. Legal field for over 20 years. And she is a certified Georgia instructor for real estate. And then we also have CC Gilmore joining us, who's been a real estate agent for 5 years. She has her broker's license. She's a certified instructor for real estate. And the 2 of them have joined together to create the Real MVP Academy. We'll hear more about why they started that a little bit later in our presentation. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to these 2 amazing young ladies to share with us why it's so important that we invest in our education. So Dani and Cece, I'm turning it over to you.
All righty. Well, thank you for having us today. I'm excited to share this information with you guys. I'm looking at y'all's numbers, very, very impressive. So congratulations and round of applause to you guys for that as well. So investing in your education. I'm just going to read the first line here. Your real estate career and education should be treated like any other financial investment. So I know that most of us, when we get into the business and get into the industry, the first thing that we want to do is create visibility for ourselves and let people know that we are now real estate agents. So when we think about growing our business and what that looks like, we generally tend to think in terms of our marketing. So new agents are always thinking about, I need business cards, I need signage, I need a photo shoot, I need to drive people to my Instagram. And we kind of want to change the way that you think about that. And we want you to start thinking about your education as being just important of an investment as those other things. Because when you do get in front of those larger audiences and people do start to come to your DMs, you need to know what you're talking about. So before you even have your first interaction with a client, before you take on a buyer client, before you take on a seller client, you need to make sure that you can accurately and effectively answer the questions that they have for you. You can only absorb so much knowledge and retain so much information in your pre-licensing course. And so like anything else, you want to make sure that you're staying ahead of trends and that you're always putting forth the most recent information when you're talking to your clients. They look to us to educate them. And a lot of times that is what separates you from your client. The industry information, the knowledge, and the education you have. It also can be what sets you apart from other agents as well. And so as a new agent, my motto was always, I'm either actively learning or actively earning. And in those first few months, I was definitely actively learning more than I was actively earning, excuse me. But again, when I did start to build that business and I did have those clients come to me, it helped to have that information.
Hey guys, again, my name is CC Gilmore. I am honored to be here, guys. So as Dani just said, guys, your investing in yourself is going to be super important. You're going to first treat it just like any other investment. You're going to have initial investment, guys. So your initial investment, we always going to look at it in three. We're going to look at it in three parts. Okay? Your first initial investment, and you can do them in any order. However, mentorship needs to be one of those investments, guys. Mentorship, you don't know what you don't know. So when you can lean on someone else's knowledge, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or 20 years of knowledge, that is something you can definitely utilize with your clients. We always tell our new agents that, hey, when you come in, you don't tell them that you're new. Tell them you're working with someone with you have over 10 years of experience on your team. You know, you have that experience with you. So guys, mentorship is super important. So that's the first thing. And then the second part of that is going to be continuing education. That is an investment in itself. When you have the knowledge, you have the power, guys. You want to make sure that you know what it is that you're doing. You want to make sure that you're actively learning. As Dan said, you want to make sure you're actively learning in your career. So that is so important. And outside of your 25 hours of post-license, sure you have other knowledge under your belt in continuing education. And then lastly, with your initial, you want to not only take the courses that are required for you, but you want to take courses that not necessarily required of you, but things that you need to know in the industry in whatever given time that you're in. So that's super important.
So diversify. We hear diversification a lot in other industries. The more tools that you can add, the better. So you always want to make sure that you are diversifying your knowledge and your skill set so that you can offer more to your clients, whether they be your buyers or your sellers. So there's a little bit more of what we were talking about. After the initial investment in courses, make sure you begin to take courses that impact your business as well. So new strategies, best practices, and business courses. Coming out of real estate school in that pre-licensing course, you should have what you need to go out and sell real estate. But do you have what you need to actually run a business? Those are two very different things. A lot of us are transitioning from positions where we were employed by someone else to now being self-employed. And so there are things that go along with that. And so you want to start taking some business courses as well to learn how to run your business. And some of those business courses, they talk about CRMs and how those can be effective in helping to take your business to that next level. Also, certifications and designations. So just like your clients don't know what you don't know, a lot of times they don't know what you do know. And so when you take those courses that come with certifications and designations at the end, you now have something to quantify what you actually know, right? And so it also helps your clients to see you more as a professional. In other professions, we have professionals at designations. You have your BAs, you have your PhDs, you have your doctorates, and so on and so forth. And so these are some of the things that are going to set you apart from your peers in real estate. It shows that you're willing to go the extra step. Just like you may take advice from someone who has a master's over someone that has a bachelor's degree. And I'm not saying that they know more, but that piece of paper or that designation says that they went the extra step. Clients are always going to work with those agents that go the extra step. So again, those certifications and designations tell clients what you actually know.
Wow. Well, I can't say enough about how much I've enjoyed the presentation thus far, ladies. The information that you share and just the tools that you're making us aware of in which we can use as real estate professionals to advance our career, I believe is extremely important. And I would love for you all to tell us more about why you started the Real MVP Group Academy and how it can benefit not only those seasoned agents, but the new ones as well.
So the Real MVP Group Academy was actually born out of what we saw as a need in the industry. We both are very passionate about education, and we both frequently had new agents, prospective agents in our DMs on social media, asking us for advice, for mentorship, and also, for how to navigate this business. And so it was just very organic. We both shared this passion and thought that this was the next step in the trajectory of being able to create the kind of agents that we want to actually work with in this industry.
That's definitely it. For any of your courses on the Real MVP website, it's going to be realmvp.com/education. You will be able to sign up for any continuing education classes, as well as if you know anyone who needs to be pre-licensed, do license in over 40 states. So that is something that you definitely can look at on that Real MVP Group website. Next slide. We also have kind of broken down the courses for you guys where you can see what it would look like for seasoned agents as well as new agents coming into real estate. We have courses like how to work with real estate investors, which is something that I know a lot of us do not know how to do, if that's something you're interested in going into that market, this is a course that could help you, and it will also give you your continuing education hours. This is kind of we're saying when we're saying investing in your niche, investing in what you feel is the way that you need to go. So that's a example. If you want to work with investors, or for instance, if you want to be a listing agent, preparing a listing agreement, that is another example of a course that you could actually work with and still get your continuing education classes. And that's for new agents.
I know I work with a huge, well, not huge, I'm still fairly new to the game, but I work with several real estate investors, and I haven't taken how to work with real estate investors. So this is a course that, ladies, I am going to rely on you to give me, some information that I can use that's going to be helpful as I continue to stay in my lane. I love working with investors because it's kind of twofold. Like, I represent them on the side when they're purchasing, and then when the flip is finished, I represent them on that side as well. But I had an investor call me today about a property that we closed on, and there are some repairs now that weren't identified, when we initially purchased the property. And it's kind of like, when I saw this, I said, man, I probably could be able to answer some of those questions a little bit better for him. And I'm just being completely transparent. And this is talking about investing in yourself. So for me, I'm excited to definitely enroll in how to work with real estate investors. So you guys will be hearing from me. I'm looking forward to getting my 3 hours and taking this course. I think that would be amazing.
And to Cece's point, it actually helps you create your niche and curate the type of business that you actually want to have for yourself. So again, like if you want to be a listing agent and focus primarily on that, this is going to give you the information you need for that. If you want to work with investors, if you want to be a luxury property specialist, there's an actual designation for that. And people don't know that. People think, okay, I sold 2 luxury properties, I'm now a specialist. No, there's an actual designation for that. And so, you also are going to get best practices in these courses, right? So you're going to know how you want to handle your luxury client buyer. What are they going to be expecting as opposed to your first time home buyer, so that you're not a one size fits all agent. Even though that kind of sounds good, you don't want to be one size fits all because your clients are not one size fits all. So you definitely want to learn how to work with those different subtypes of buyers and sellers. So yeah, I wish that I would have known about some of these courses early on in my career as well.
And one of the things I see in the course that I think is helpful to a lot of the new agents is a day in the life of a buyer's agent. I also like educating home buyers. Can you guys tell us, just to give us a little snippet of some of the information that you cover in those courses? Because I think these are amazing.
So if you're going to specifically about a day in the life of a buyer agent, it's going to kind of run down everything that we have to do from when you meet a client, when they're not a client, when they're just a customer. So those are some things that we have to cover in that. And then progressing on to when you go under contract with the buyer brokerage agreement. It just moves you forward, kind of gives you the progress of a buyer's agent, basically.
And it would be the same with educating the home buyers. So, it's going to basically give you that blueprint of what information you should be giving them, as well as what information you shouldn't be giving them, right? Because one of the things that we always talk about in real estate school is, staying in your lane, make sure that you're not giving financial information, financial advice, and making sure that you're not giving advice outside of the scope of what a real estate agent should do. So educating home buyers is kind of going to be your GPS to take you through, and you can implement some of those things into your new buyer orientations, which we all should be doing those new buyer orientations. And so you're going to get a lot of best practices, and basically a blueprint for how to do that as well.
So let's talk a second about, I know, Dani, when we were chatting a little bit earlier, we talked briefly about the need for focusing on contract law. And sometimes how, when we have a buyer who needs to get out of a contract per se, understanding the contract, Valen always says, like the back and the front of your hand, the ins and the outs.
Absolutely.
Give us a little bit of information about why this course is so important.
Okay, so a lot of times I think that we tend to forget that these documents are legally binding documents, right? So there are laws that govern that, and things that we have to adhere to. If you don't know contract law and if you don't understand what you're doing, you can jeopardize your license, as well as giving someone bad information that you may not be able to remedy and you may have no solution for. And so knowing how to understanding the contract also helps you to write a better offer. And people don't understand that, right? Because you need to know how your client can get out of things legally and how they can't. Also, it'll help you with contracts that are non-GAR as well, and kind of understanding how to read those and what things to look for. I know a lot of times in new construction, they're not using those GAR contracts. And so you need to be able to know what to look for, as well as being able to explain what this document is to your buyer. So again, going back to that new buyer orientation, part of what I do is I literally pull up a contract if we're doing it virtually, and I go through every single line so that they understand what it is they're signing. And I stress to them again, this is a legally binding document. These contracts change also. They're not stagnant, they're living documents. And so they change. And so you need to be able to keep up with those changes and know what those changes are, because again, these things can have legal ramifications. We make sure that we are always up on that contract law, especially like CC with her broker's license now. That's super important. If you don't take any other classes, that is the one class that you should absolutely take.
So what I'm gathering is the academy is kind of like a blueprint. It's a blueprint of the components that you need in order to be a successful real estate agent, while also allowing you to focus on your niche and stay in your lane. Would you kind of agree? So I think that this is just, it's mind-blowing to me. It's amazing at what you guys have put together and the information that you can gain from it. So I am excited, truly excited to
we got to handle the business part of our business. We have to handle the business part of our business. If we want people out here to take us seriously as professionals, we have to first take ourselves seriously. And there's always an education component that goes with that. You should always be learning. You should approach every day like a 1-year-old, trying to learn something new at all times. So yeah.
I love it. It's like you take the training wheels off, but you're still learning. You still got to grasp what's new. And like you said, real estate is always evolving, it's changing. And so making sure that you stay on your toes and you continue to educate yourself is really important. So I see now we've got some courses for our seasoned agents. Tell us a little bit about these.
We do. Just initially, like we just talked about, finding your niche. Finding your niche. This is something that is going to be very important. That's one of them. Focusing on your niche, finding that in this market. Also, seller's market. We all know about that, right? We all know what's going on here with the seller's market. There are many different ways to navigate it. And there are so many people that don't know those different ways. So that really helps a lot. Same thing with contract law. Seasoned agents as well as new agents, we all need that. So that doesn't change. About mortgage financing, we all need that. And then helping clients understand real estate finance. There has been so many times where I'm sure all of us, your clients, are asking you about financing. And we all, kind of lean towards the lender to help us with that. But there are some things that we do need to understand. So all these things will help. I
would agree, because it's like numerous times, like you said, CC, you have clients that'll ask you questions about the financing. You think to yourself, well, I'm not really the loan officer, but we always say you don't need to be an expert, but you do need to understand. And so it's really important that you do have, just the basic knowledge, again, continuing your education, focusing on understanding the different types of mortgage and financing options that are available to them, so that you are more of an advisor. I think it's really important as real estate professionals that we present ourselves as an advisor, and we're no longer just considered to be the person taking them out to see a house, right? We're not that individual. As you said, Dani, we have so much knowledge and information through the courses that we've taken to better ourselves, so that we are the professionals. And And I know that's what I aspire to be, as a real estate
Yeah.
professional. And you can only continue to do that through the courses that you guys are offering. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you have a lot of people that tend to subscribe to the thought that why do I need an agent? Why do I have to have an agent to guide me through this process, right? And so if you can't demonstrate to them how you make this process easier for them, then why do they need an agent? Right. Also, we need to make sure that we are always in compliance. And as this industry grows, and as we start to market ourselves in different ways, social media has a whole different set of standards for advertising that's different from print. Right. So we need to know those things. You do have I don't want to say Karen agents, right? Because we should all be the agents that if we see something wrong, we say something, right? But you have those agents out there that are constantly watching, and they look for any little slip up, and you will get reported. So it is also important for you to make sure that you are always in compliance and staying on top of new trends and what has changed in real estate, because this business is going to continue to evolve as our clients evolve, through different generations, and they have different needs. We need to know how to service them, and so staying fresh and keeping yourself up to date is probably the best way you can do that. It's not a huge financial investment, but the return is priceless.
Absolutely. So one of the things I wanted you guys to touch on is, of course, in this market, something I've never seen before. It's always changing. Right now, it's a seller's market. We don't know what's going to happen, as we approach 2022. With the MVP Academy, do you share information around how to stay abreast of the market conditions as they're changing, and how you as a real estate professional can position yourself with that knowledge that equips you to present it to your clients?
CC?
I didn't hear the question.
So I was basically asking, does the MVP Academy provide a course or any information that helps not only seasoned but new agents understand how they can stay abreast of the market conditions out there, how they can familiarize themselves with the knowledge, the information that's necessary in order to be an expert on the market conditions, or not an expert, but have a basic understanding? Do you guys offer anything comparable to that that's going to provide them with it?
Yes. So there are certain programs, of course, certain courses, like we have been navigating a high seller's market. So it's going to basically go along with what is happening in the market. So what's happening in the market is how we actually try to create those courses. Right now, it's a hot seller's market. And so we have that course for how to navigate.
And then also we're going to be, as we continue to grow, Nicole, we're also going to be, and CC has already started doing this, creating our own courses as well. We both have sat for the, taking our Georgia instructor certification course, but CC has also developed a study guide. And so we're focused on that, like also developing courses based on feedback that we're getting from agents who are actually in the market in real time, so that we can respond to some of those things. And those type of courses will be changing because the market is fluid and it's always changing. So we want to make sure that those courses are always fresh. And so if you stay connected to us, when those courses come out, you'll find out about those as well.
So to that point, when your new courses become available, I know for myself, being both on the listing side and the buying side, and just staying abreast of the changes in the market, making sure that I am correctly preparing the CMA, the comparative market analysis, just the contract law. How can we, as the Cole Realty Group and the agents that are here today, get that information when your new courses become available? Or how can we sign up for them? Like, what do we do to get all this information? Tell us what we do.
So probably the easiest way is going to be to follow us at the Real MVP Group on Instagram. We probably push out the new information there as well. If you go to our website, Real MVP Group, as well, we try to keep that page fresh as well. You can register for the courses through that direct link as well.
So I would just say go to therealmvpgroup.com /education. There you will get the most up to date. Once you click on the link, you can go in and just look for whatever courses. It's going to show you the new courses that are available. So there you will be able to get the most up to date information, as well as outside, courses that may not necessarily get CE hours, but they're actually courses that may help you with your investing in your education in real estate. So definitely therealmvpgroup.com /education.
And I see that Valen posted it in the chat as well. And I like the fact that, of course, because you guys are instructors, these courses count towards our CE credits, which is, it's really important.
Yep.
We got to have those continuing education courses as, real estate professionals. So this is a way to get the knowledge from two amazing women who are killing the game in the profession. And, I'm excited, like I said, to take several of your courses that I can see are going to benefit me. So
please do. We constantly have promotion codes as well, guys, because we want to, be mindful of that. And so we want to make it budget friendly as well. And for as long as we can, Cece and I always try to make ourselves available to through our social media platforms. So, I've told agents that have signed up for the new the pre-licensing course, if you have questions, and I don't know that I can do this for the long haul, but if you have questions, consider us a resource as well. We're more than happy to walk you through, talk you through, give you whatever advice we can to supplement where you're actually getting from the courses. And again, as we continue to grow, I don't know how long we'll be able to do that, but for right now, please also consider us as a resource for some of those questions that you may have around these topics or just real estate in general.
You sure you want? You sure?
Yes, we're passionate about it. Like we really do.
Oh, y'all up.
Listen, we're just doing our part to create the kind of agents we have out there, right? So this is the most effective way to do.
Absolutely,
do that.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I follow. Dani, I follow you on Instagram and CC. I'll make sure, that I follow you as well. And I'm just excited about what you women are doing. It's powerful, it's impactful. And as you stated, I always think about it's not where you are today, it's where you want to go. And being able to have the resources and the education or the opportunity to gain the knowledge that we need as real estate professionals to advance our career, I think is phenomenal.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, so this is the time for questions. You guys have two phenomenal powerhouse women in front of you. Are there any questions that you would like to ask them? Now is your time. Put them in the chat or come off mute, guys, and let's chat for a minute. One of the things I do quite a few listings, and I work with some investors, as I mentioned, and sometimes they ask me, the hard money lender will ask for the CMA up front. And at first I didn't understand, I would take the CMA and I would take the comparables that were there, send it out, stop. Well, you need a CMA, right? And so the hard money lender kind of gave me a little bit of insight as to why it's important to remove some of those listings that aren't necessarily as strong as some of the other ones. Because when they're looking at that CMA, they want to make sure that they have a clear picture of what that property's potential is as it compares to the comparables. I would love for you all to share a little bit more information as to why the CMA is important. Like, what should we put in it as we continue to strive to get these listings, or, just any information you want to share about it.
Definitely have spoken about Dani actually have spoken about as well when we're dealing with investors, and even dealing with your sellers and your normal comps. Guys, we have to, and a lot of people don't know this, but appraisers are not looking at the cash appraisals as comps for they're not looking directly at those comps. So you want to make sure that you are kind of looking at the financing type that you're using, okay? Or the financing has been used for the that you're looking at. So when you're comparing with your investor, because he's going to be purchasing cash, try to get the comps that are more so cash as well as other comps. And same thing vice versa with your sellers. Make sure you try to get the comps that are financing, FHA or PA or, you know, whatever conventional, whatever financing, you want to make sure you use those particular comps. A lot of people don't understand, and they say, oh, well, this house sold in 2 days for 50,000 over, but that was a cash deal. So you need to compare apples to oranges in these type of situations. Not being an appraiser, because we are not appraisers. However, we do need to have market knowledge. Okay, we do need to have market knowledge.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, that's
one thing I would do that.
I wouldn't have. I'm glad I asked the question. That's amazing, because I'm like, that makes sense now. You would want to use the comps that are comparable to your situation, I guess, so that it's more realistic. That's good stuff. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask?
Hey guys, I have a question. This is Anetta.
Hi, Anetta.
Hey, okay, so, and I might have missed it because I don't know if I just had really bad reception, but are your classes online, like via Zoom, or do you have in-person classes?
So our classes are on an online platform right now, but we're moving to a physical location and physical classrooms, which is part of why we both went ahead and got our instructors certifications, because we want to be able to teach some of those classes. Things are still a little questionable about COVID. People sometimes are still a little bit wary about gathering in groups. So right now we're still an online platform, but in the very near future, we hope to move to, in the very near future, we will be moving to physical in-person classes.
Okay, and do you guys offer, like, I know some schools may offer complimentary classes, like, like some type of specialized class, like they may say, how to work a new construction deal or something like that. Like sometimes they'll offer like those free type of classes. Do you guys ever offer those, like would you do those like during the holidays? I know some
that's a good idea.
Do things like that.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. We do it on our Instagram all day, every day anyway. So I'm not opposed to giving away some best practices.
Best practices, yeah,
absolutely. That's a good idea.
Anetta, that's a great point, because I know, like for myself, as a new agent, I haven't done a ton of new construction, and I could truly benefit from having, best practices. Like, what do you do in this phase? What do you do, in this one? You know what I mean? So Anetta, that's a great point. Like, Dani, CC, please.
Yeah, and that would be a great add-on.
Yeah, I take a lot of CE classes because I am also litigation paralegal. So like a lot of stuff I'm like wanting to know.
That's what I did 20 years.
Yeah. I'm like, how does this work? So I'm always like, so one of the biggest things I did is I would take these free courses, and then I would be like, oh my God, that teacher's bomb. I love how she teaches. And then I started taking the courses that she would charge for, because I'm like, I don't care to pay $25 for this course. She's bomb, So I was just wondering that, because it would give people a taste too of how dope you guys are, you know what I mean? And help you, grow, and help us grow.
I love that.
But, like I definitely think that is so cool. I just had to renew my license. So my credits just reset themselves, which I hate, because I just had 136 credits, and I'm like, I got to start over. But
oh my goodness.
It's so important for agents to just have more credits than they need, because you don't want to get to that last month before your renewal's up and you don't have your credits, because you got deals on the contract that the commission does not care. They're going to suspend your license until you done that.
Yeah.
Right.
Anetta will tell you. I was blowing her phone up. I'm like, Anetta,
you're good.
I have it.
You're a good mentor. I did not do my post licensing in time. And I was under contract, and I was so panicked. I literally had to do a cram course, and then I had to go to this little old lady's house. Like, she had to proctor the exam, y'all. It was and it was costly too.
Right.
So absolutely stay on top of that. Stay on top of those credits.
Good stuff. Well, now Henry has a question. He says, being it's in a seller's market, what do you think are the most effective methods to gaining listings, especially potential sellers that are on the fence? And also best practices for landlocks.
I'm gonna throw it to you with the listings because you've been killing it with the listings lately. So
yeah. So quite honestly, I have, well, the market helps, right? So just 100% transparency. The market conditions right now definitely help for getting listings because everybody is saying, sell now, sell now, sell now. You can get $100,000 more than your house is worth, right? Which is definitely not true. So I found that, and I've gotten the most listings in this fiscal year than I have throughout my career. And it really has just been making sure that I am marketing around my sold listings, right? So some of that old fashioned, old school marketing, making sure that when you do get the one listing, your sign is up, you've got the, you're coming soon, but when you sell it, also have your sold sign, your sold rider on top of that sign. Asking for referrals. I'm not really big on chasing down for sale by owners. It's just, I know that there are people that works for, but I really think that just my marketing and just advertising around those listings that I've sold has brought more listings to me. Also making sure that I'm highlighting how long those listings have stayed on the market. I think my average now is 6 days and we're under contract. So yeah, I found that has been effective for me. I've never really wanted to market myself as only a listing agent. But again, I've gotten more listings as a byproduct of the market and just doing a good job for the sellers that I already had and making sure that I'm promoting that. One thing that's really important is with sellers, especially in this market, you don't want to oversell it. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. You want to make sure that you are managing your sellers' expectations because this market today is not what it was 2-3 months ago when we were in that crazy feeding frenzy and people were willing to purchase homes with no appraisals, waiving all contingencies, no inspections. We are not in that market. I'm seeing a lot of homes that were overpriced coming back on the market or still sitting there, right? So selling competitive pricing is always going to be a best practice when you're marketing listings. Competitive pricing is going to win it every single time. So hopefully, I'm not sure if that answered your question. Hopefully it did.
Yeah, the other part of it was, what about, can you guys give any advice when you have like a seller who's on the fence, like they don't really know if they want to sell? How do you persuade them that, this is the market to go ahead and sell?
You have to leverage your seller's consultation when you're going in there and you're speaking with them. Bring in numbers. Bring in now. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, right? So bring in those numbers and let them see what they can make. What it looks like to them. Bring in facts. I think facts always trump anything else. So bring in those facts when you do your consultation with them. I know they're on the fence, but try to move them off of the fence and then find out what they really want. Find out what moves them. It may not be the money. It may not be the money. It's not money. You need to understand what it is. Do you want to be closer to your family? Do you need to move from this home or sell this home to be closer to your family? It's about finding out what they really need and what really will move them. That's what I say. And so those consultations are super important. Doing those consultations, sellers are going to be your foot in the door, literally and figuratively. So that's what I would say.
Also, too, if you guys are, I don't know if you guys are back to doing open houses, right? But if you have team members or such that have properties and listings that are for sale, take that time before the open house to walk around the neighborhood and introduce yourself, to the neighbors on either side and let them know, this is an amazing opportunity for you to choose your new neighbors. But, once they see you as the listing agent, walking around, and knocking on doors and getting to know people, lets them know that you go the extra mile as well. And then, again, that sold rider, it seems silly, but it's eye-catching, and people pay attention in the neighborhood as well, right? And so that's kind of fishing, and doing circle prospecting in that neighborhood. But people pay attention. They know when that for sale sign went up, and they know when that sold sign hit it as well. And so that makes them start to think, well, man, I wasn't really thinking about selling my house, but now I am. Another thing is I've had one of my listings recently, Open Door reached out to them first. Okay. And they actually called me. And so understand that when we're in these kind of markets, if you're not touching those clients, if you're not staying top of mind, somebody else is doing it. Open Door called my client and said, we can get you this. And I said, get that out of here. Let me show you what I can do for you. Right. And I actually did it. But I was fortunate that client reached out to me rather than just accepting that offer, but also just keep reaching out to them. You want to stay top of mind with your clients.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we were having a conversation, a couple of the other agents and I, that had same situation, Dani. Open Door reached out, made them this offer that in some cases, maybe they felt like they couldn't resist. Can you share any additional pointers as to how you reel them back in to make sure that you maintain that listing? They know you're the person that can get the job done for them. You can represent them the best. What other advice can you offer, some talking points that you can give us when we run into those situations?
So hopefully I did a good job for them last time, right? When they were purchasing, and hopefully that's the impression that I left with them, right? So right out the gate, we have rapport and we have relationship, right? So hopefully they have a level of comfortability with me, and beyond comfortability, a level of trust in me that they don't have with Open Door. And then I just kind of give them the cold hard facts. These companies, this company is making you this offer without having walked this home. What do you think is going to happen when they walk this home? They're going to start nitpicking this, and they're going to start nitpicking that, and start nitpicking this, right? And so I point that out to them, that there are hidden fees in there that you may not know about upfront, but are going to come along. I also tell them that 9 times out of 10, these companies buy your property and then turn around and put it back on the market. So there has to be a profit margin in there for them somewhere, which means that they're probably not going to offer you what you really can get for your house. And so, I sell it to them that way. And in the 2 instances that it's happened, the sellers have decided to go with me rather than this big company, and we got it done.
Nice.
Yeah. Tell them these companies are building in a profit margin for themselves. Don't leave money on the table for them. Let me get it for you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Sierra says, I love how you both mentioned how agents can refer to their team as having 10 plus years experience rather than calling themselves a new agent. I have been in the real estate for almost a year, and I am 19, but I am super big on events, not calling themselves new, because even newer agents can hold a lot of knowledge by taking their learning seriously. Also, You guys are so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So much.
I would have to piggyback off of that. Thank you, Sierra. You guys are amazing. And I know when I first joined and I got my first listing appointment, I was nervous. I called down. I'm like, Dallin, I've had my license 90 days. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. She was like, girl, you got 25 years worth of experience with the Cole Realty Group. Sell that, Yes. And so to have you ladies reiterate the importance of using the information, or the brokerage that you're with as that main foundation is just so important. And Sierra's right. You ladies are phenomenal, and I'm excited about working with you all. Yes, absolutely. So again, give everyone your Instagram names. How can they follow you? How can they get in contact with you, Dani?
I am Dani Sells ATL, DANNIE Sells ATL. I think my number is actually still in my bio. So Instagram is probably the best way to get in touch with me, or just send me a text. I try to be really good about responding to those as soon as I can.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I am Gilmore CC. Instagram, Clarissa Gilmore on Facebook. You can follow me there. And my real number is in my bio. Absolutely not. But my work number is definitely in my bio, but I do respond to DMs and messages.
Awesome. Well, Bella has also added your Instagrams in the chat as well. And ladies, Wanda also added great facts presented today. She says she is revitalized. So
yay! I love that.
Yes,
I love that. I love that. That makes me feel so good, y'all.
Yes.
That makes me feel so good. So thank you for that.
Yes. And Dominique said, thank you, ladies, as well. So,
you're so welcome.
On behalf of the Cole Realty Group, it has been a pleasure sharing this platform with you all today. I have learned a great deal, and I'm sure that the agents can attest that, you know, you've shared some information that has been amazing, and we are looking forward to partnering with you all and taking some of your classes. And Henry says, thanks, ladies, great info.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
That's a wrap.
Thanks for having us. This was so fun. This was so fun. Thank you so much for having us. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And hopefully we can do it again, you know, and talk about, you know, dive a little bit deeper into some of the topics that you all cover and give you an opportunity to present it, you know, in just a little bit more in-depth discussion about some of it.
We would love to. You guys let us know what you want to learn about and we will make it happen. We would love to do that for you.
All right, ladies. Well, you count it. It's done. Okay. But on behalf of the Cole Realty Group, it has been a pleasure today, ladies. Agents, join us next week for Closing the Gap. And it's a wrap. Thank you. Bye.